growing up like I did, kind of really tough environment, movies were something that you just watched. It wasn't something that you could participate in. It was something that happened to you. It wasn't something that you did. And so I kind of stumbled into Hollywood studio films, when a casting director saw some of my performance art and reached out to me. The more success that I had, what I realized was I started to see that there were certain limitations with the types of roles that people of color, particularly, Black actors, were being afforded. And that struck me as odd. I really became interested in really pursuing directing as a means to elevate the types of stories that I was interested in telling that weren't seemingly possible under the auspices of the dominant Hollywood cultural industry, right? They weren't interested in the nuances of Black life. They were more so interested in the depravity, and that really struck me, because it's not until you get inside the belly of the beast, so to speak, that you start to see, at least from my perspective, started to see the kind of inner political dynamics that are at play, whether they are conscious or just, embedded into the fabric of the system itself. My aim is to recalibrate the national conversation around Black lives by centering these films in the subject of Black love and Black joy, as opposed to seeing images of Black pain and suffering recycled over and over again. So for me, I wanted to create a series of films, not just one film, but a series of films that chronicle the idea of Black love, to prove, number one, that Black love matters, right? Not just Black death. Black love matters, right? And using these films in a way to disrupt, the status quo, but also to directly address my communities, right? Black communities, and offer them a show of love, and offer them new images, new stories, new voices, new iconography, new faces, new actors, that they are looking for as a way of honoring and expanding the possibilities of what Black cinema can be, but also doing so in a way that's entertaining, but also political and poetic. There's a certain sense of worldliness and critical thought that I find within the students at San Francisco State, and that inspires me because it reminds me of myself when I was, in that position. And I love, the tradition of social justice. And I love the way that SF State we view ourselves as a social justice institution. That's deeply aligned with who I am and type of, way that I view my work as a form of both scholarly and creative activism, right? I desire for my work not to just be housed in the silos of the ivory tower, but rather to be relatable and to have very real world implications.